What's up, people? I'm Chibuzo Wachuku. I'd appreciate you liking this video and subscribing to my channel. President Joe Biden plans to give Africa some reparation by having a long railroad constructed across the continent. He expects us taxpayers to pay for it. I'll roll the clips now.
You know, one of the things we're doing in terms of, I proposed a long time ago at the G7, now it's going to come to fruition in the G20, is making sure that we build a railroad all the way across the African continent. Think about it.
This plan came after the BRICS Summit that took place in South Africa last month. The BRICS Summit was about the evil of the West, including the USA. Before the summit, like other countries of the West, the US exploited Africa using like various tactics, such as killing leaders, promoting wars and hate between African countries, making it difficult for people of each African country to get into another one of the same continent, paying puppets, being leaders of the countries to destabilize them, and weaponizing homosexuality and transgenderism against the people of the continent, leaving such countries in trashy states. Such countries of the continent, Africa, are supposed to be rich. They were supposed to be rich. Why are they trashy? It's the exploitation resulting in some coups, which people actually call revolution. I mean, people of the continent. The people of the continent had like more than enough. That explains the revolutions and also the BRICS Summit. While BRICS has only 5 countries, which is what the acronym stands for, none of them is from the West. Yes, Russia is a European country with mostly white people, but it is not part of the West. And that is one of the countries that African countries have turned to. A lot of countries have applied for memberships. I heard that countries like France, Germany, the UK, and the USA were turned down. Why? Because they are part of the disease. Now, Biden decided to open up his mouth and start doing something for Africa. Or maybe he's not gonna do it. The African leaders should reject that offer. They shouldn't take anything except for money to help develop the continent. The railroad could be fake. The reason I'm saying this is that I came across on TikTok a rumor that an African country, I believe Niger, turned down France's offer to give reparations in smartphones. The African countries shouldn't accept anything other than cash, especially food, medicine, and animals such as cows, goats, chickens, and so on, because they could be poisoned. I've heard of such things happen before. I remember hearing of medications, I mean fake medications, sent to the continent, killing some people. Biden should either give the money in reparations or just back away. The African countries have had enough, or I should say more than enough, with the West. The USA, Canada, France, Germany, and so on. Enough is enough. If an African country plans to get some help from Americans to develop, the country should invite African Americans. I'm not trying to be a racist. The actual reason I would want an African country to try African Americans is the fact that the blacks in America are the worst treated people. The hate of blacks in the USA is promoted not only to the other minorities in addition to whites, but also to immigrants. Blacks get killed for no good reason, not only by whites that are white supremacists, but also by other minorities and immigrants. Those people are weaponized against blacks here. More specifically, the black men are the worst treated group, that even a number of black women go against them, which is one of the reasons the black men dominate in the passport bro thing, which is about men leaving the USA to find good women in non-Western countries, and they stay in such countries instead of coming back here. So like I said, the blacks should be invited. There are some exceptions though. Those involved in politics should definitely be excluded, like Barack Obama, the former president, Al Sharpton, and so on. Also, blacks that hate their own, like celebrities such as Charles Barkley and Candace Owens. They hate their own, so they shouldn't be included. Also, I mentioned before, some black women against men of the same race. I don't hear of women of other races like that. I mean, like white women, Hispanic women, and so on. I don't hear of them treat men of their respective races like that. The black women that are against men of their own race should not be invited to Africa to help an African country develop. I understand that some African Americans have acquired citizenships of those countries. The African Americans should also be given places to stay in the continent permanently, because the USA is no country to its own black people. I wouldn't blame an African American for fighting against his or her own country because of what the USA is actually about. White supremacy against black people, both in the country and outside the country, which explains the exploitation of Africa and the disrespect of the laws of African countries. Biden needs to zip it and to leave Africa alone. Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching.